Thank you, Mr. Pooch. Ladies and gentlemen, now on to the outlook going forward. Put differently, what may you expect from us this year? At the outset, let me state the following. Volkswagen will continue on its chosen path with dedication and perseverance. The target has been set. We intend to keep growing in a qualitative manner, and we intend to improve in all respects. For fiscal 2015, we are expecting the following. A moderate increase in our deliveries. An increase in sales revenue, of course, depending on the framework conditions, of up to 4% growth, depending on the macroeconomic developments, and an operating return on sales in the group between 5.5% and 6.5%. For our passenger cars business area, we've raised our forecast slightly and are expecting an operating return there of between 6% and 7%. We freely admit that we are being deliberately more conservative and cautious than others with these targets, erring on the side of caution. But one thing is very important for us. Despite excellent figures, Volkswagen always remains down to earth and realistic. We cannot close our eyes to the many international political and macroeconomic trouble spots that continue to confront our industry. Just look at Russia and South America and many other truck markets. The fact is that there are large question marks hanging over fiscal 2015. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, you know us well enough. We're never satisfied with just doing the minimum. Our stated goal is to achieve further growth, both in terms of volume and our sales revenue and operating profit. And to achieve this, we can rely on our tried and proven strengths. We have 3 profitable business areas: passenger cars, commercial vehicles, power engineering, and financial services. We have 12 fascinating brands that meet almost all customer wishes and needs worldwide. And we have the innovation power of more than 46,000 research and development employees and more than 10,000 IT specialists. We have the necessary liquidity in place and the financial soundness. And we have a strategy that has proven its worth when the times are tough. It is these strengths that are what distinguishes us from many others and will significantly leverage and expand them. I'd like to focus on 3 areas in greater detail. First of all, we'll be strengthening and updating our model range. Skoda recently unveiled the new Superb based on the modular transfers toolkit. With its new flagship, the brand will convert many new customers into buyers with the revamped flagship, the new Seat, the refreshed Ibis in the starting blocks, the second core model after the Leon, and it'll provide further impetus for Seat. Audi is relaunching its bestseller. The next generation A4 will hit the streets in the 4th quarter of the year. The new Q7 is already making headlines with 325 kilos shaved off its weight. It is a state-of-the-art aluminium and steel body vehicle, blazing the trail for lightweight construction. Porsche is revamping its most important model, the 911. Bentley is presenting new models, and Lamborghini is presenting the new Ford Spider. For commercial vehicles, 2 new things are in the starting blocks. The Caddy and the TX6 account for around 2/3 of the total volume. This means that our light commercial vehicles are heading into the future with extremely young, fresh, attractive new models. And the Volkswagen passenger cars brand will be launching its new Touran. It sets new standards in its class thanks to the modular transfers toolkit. Preparations for the next Tiguan are already underway to be launched 2016. All in all, we'll be launching 50 new models, successors, and model updates this year. For us, it is not just a target of doing more. It is about having the right products available for the right time. A new model rollout also means taking a long, hard look at models that no longer meet the expectations of today. And that brings me to focus number 2, driving forward a modular toolkit strategy. Experts tell us that the Volkswagen Group is years ahead of its competitors in this area. But the economic advantages are leveraged only gradually. They're not having the full impact yet, because it is with the growing volume that the positive effects come into full bearing. This year, the group will already produce 2.7 million vehicles based on the Modular Transfers Toolkit, or MQB. By 2018, we will reach 7 million units. And the speed will differ and become visible at different speeds from brand to brand. At the Volkswagen brand, for instance, only 15% currently is based on the MQB toolkit. At Skoda, for instance, this share is double that figure, which is, of course, reflected in the brand's earnings. And this is why we are convinced that the massive upfront expenditures for the modular toolkit strategy will pay off not only in terms of technology, but also in terms of profitability for the vehicles and also for our plant. Roughly speaking, the rule up to now is one plant, one production line, one model. Now we can produce different brands and models extremely flexibly on a single production line. For instance, at the Zwickau plant, we are building the Passat and the Golf on the same production line. In Bratislava, we'll make the Volkswagen Touareg, Porsche Cayenne and Audi Q7s all on one production line. Currently, worldwide, we operate 18 plants on the basis of these toolkits. And by 2016, we'll have converted another 11 plants. This will make our group even more flexible, agile and robust. Focus number 3, stepping up the pace for commercial vehicles as well. We're in the process of shaping a powerful alliance between MAN, Scania and Volkswagen commercial vehicles. And we've set ourselves an ambitious goal. In the long run, we intend to become the world's best and most profitable truck OEM worldwide. The first major joint projects are already underway. From 2016, we'll be successively installing Scania transmissions into the MAN's TGSs and TGX models. Next generation transmissions will be joint developments right from the outset. And this is only a first step, because in the commercial vehicles business, in the long run, we'll also be deploying a modular toolkit strategy. Working on a common commercial vehicles toolkit has already started. Transmissions, driver cabs, electronics and engines. We intend to develop all of these jointly in the future, without diluting the brand's identities and independence, just as with our passenger car brands. In the coming weeks and months, we'll take all the necessary decisions and put in place the organizational and human resources needed to reach our goals. And I will give you more detail on this, and will publish more information as well in the near future. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see that despite all the imponderables and uncertainties, the Volkswagen Group is accelerating. In 2015, we intend to take the next step towards the top. In other words, we are now preparing to overtake. We've set off to a very good start in 2015 with the current delivering figures corroborating this. For the first time, we've delivered 1.5 million vehicles in January and February, corresponding to an increase of 1.6%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've now covered the main points of an annual media and press conference. This is the standard program, as it were. But as you know yourselves, the standard program, business as usual, is no longer sufficient these days. Neither in journalism nor in the automotive industry. Our world is undergoing a fundamental shift, and it will only be the strongest and more best prepared companies for the future that will prevail and shape the future. So how will we keep the Volkswagen Group on its success course in the long run? One thing is clear. Today's solutions are no guarantees for tomorrow's successes. You need finely tuned receptors for social change happening in our societies, for what moves people, for what the future of mobility and a company like Volkswagen will need to fulfill in terms of expectations in the future. Reinventing yourself, adopting new paths when it comes to alternative drives, digitization, and in new business fields. We at Volkswagen have got the message. And this is why there is no room for complacency at Volkswagen. Our goal and our ambition is to remain at the helm of the automotive industry in 5 or 10 years, and not just in terms of volume. And this is why we are investing more in research and development than any other company in the world. In 2014, it was 11.5 billion euros invested here. We have the largest R&D team in the industry, and this is why we called our program Future Trucks into being. Our efficiency program, Future Trucks, is not only preparing the group for the technological challenges of the motor world of tomorrow. Above all, it is laying the groundwork for the long-term economic success for the future generations working at Volkswagen. In other words, Future Trucks is our compass for sustainable and profitable, in short, qualitative growth for Volkswagen. We have a fascinating vision that drives us. Indeed, in the long run, we want to evolve from a car maker to a global mobility provider, an enabler of mobility, and the number one in this field. And this is why we are, once again, stepping up the pace of innovation in core areas that are critical to our future. The future area number one is e-mobility. Demand for electric cars has been slow to take off. However, our strategy is not guided by short-term trends or current oil prices. We remain firmly committed to e-mobility. We need it not only to comply with worldwide CO2 emission targets. We are confident that it will become established in the long run. And this is why our group already offers the widest range of electric vehicles in the motor industry, from pure electric cars, BEVs, to the e-up and the e-Golf, to plug-in hybrids such as the A3 e-tron, the Golf, the Passat GTE, the Panamera SE hybrid, right up, and the Cayenne SE hybrid, right up to technological trailblazers and beacons like the Excel One and the Porsche 918 Spider. As a result, we moved into pole position in Germany's electric car market in the past year, and this is only the start. We believe that plug-in hybrids offer the greatest opportunities in the medium term. As a result, we'll offer this technology in almost all of our major models. Going forward, Audi will add the Q7, A7 and A8, and at Volkswagen we'll have the Touareg and the Phaeton. And pure electric cars will be taken to a new level. The new Audi R8 e-tron, which goes on sale this year, will come with a range of around 450 kilometers. And I can reveal to you that we are working hard to develop electric vehicles with a range of more than 500 kilometers. What is really essential is that we have a viable business case for e-mobility, and here too the logic behind our toolkits becomes apparent. It enables us up to 40 models quickly and at no major additional cost. It enables us to flexibly integrate fuel cells in our vehicles as soon as technology and infrastructure are ready for commercially viable cars. And electric cars aren't made in separate plants. They are assembled on the same assembly lines, bumper to bumper, with classic powertrains. This makes us very flexible and saves a lot of money. As a matter of course, it is not yet clear where drive technology is headed. The Volkswagen Group can flexibly adapt its model range, both, and its production like no other car maker. The second key future field is the influence of the digital world on automobiles. This is the buzzword and on everyone's minds at the moment. Few manufacturers have been working to drive forward digitization for so long and in such great detail as Volkswagen has. This relates first and foremost to the automobile itself. As a group, we already have the largest connected vehicle fleet on the roads worldwide, and we aim to offer all of our vehicles with internet access by 2020. Likewise, automated or piloted autonomous driving is not a passing fad or fashion for us either. We've been pioneering this technology for 15 years with the VW vehicle Stanley, which won the prestigious DARPA Challenge in 2005. We were the first car maker to be allowed to test automated vehicles on public roads in the United States of America. And we will be among the first, with Audi and Volkswagen, to successfully market and sell this technology. The new Passat, for instance, comes with a traffic jam assist function that automatically accelerates brakes and keeps the vehicle in lane in stop-and-go traffic during rush hours. And we'll take the next big step with the upcoming Audi A8. This car will be able to drive at speeds up to 60 kilometers per hour in automated mode. And for model updates, we are envisaging taking this right up to 140 kilometers per hour. In the non-too-distant future, our cars will independently look for their own parking spaces after the driver's left the car. In addition to this, we're driving forward Industry 4.0 in our plants as well. In toolmaking, for example, we're increasing using 3D printing to produce steel components with extreme precision. This is much quicker to do and improves the quality of the components. Another example is human-robot cooperation, as it's called, the direct collaboration of our employees and workforce. We're already using this in Ingolstadt and Salzgitter, and further plant will follow. We remain convinced that used intelligently and with a sense of proportion and putting it in the right context, this will be good for employees because it makes work more efficient, easier, and more economical. We use database applications in other areas too, ranging from internal customer analysis to innovative business models for everything around the car. In Munich, we've founded a startup web which uses large volumes of data, big data, computer scientists, computer linguists and statisticians there are working on new intelligent solutions. And in the after-sales area, we've developed, among other things, a model to avoid repeat repairs purely by analyzing data from dealers and workshops. And group researchers working on a smart parking space predictor. The so-called parking view uses swarm data to direct the user to the next free parking space intelligently. We'll be demonstrating the benefits of such IT services soon when we launch the Intelligent Mobility Project in the Wolfsburg region. We'll be equipping 500 vehicles with data boxes that will communicate with the city's control systems. Telematics of Scania trucks are used that are driving on roads in the region, and the gleaned swarm data will then be used to create personalized routes or direct drivers to the nearest free parking space. The added value is obvious. Drivers save time and are more rested, less traffic volume in the city, and cuts in both fuel consumption and emissions. Our commercial vehicle brands show how to earn good money with services like these. Scania and MAN have for a long time given customers the option of continuously monitoring and analyzing telematics data. Specific tips on how to drive more efficiently can cut fuel consumption by up to 10%. And by forward-looking scheduled maintenance, the average time spent in the workshop can be reduced, saving cash for our customers. In other words, intelligent automotive IT solutions provide real added value and offer the prospect of real earnings opportunities also in the passenger car business. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the automotive industry and we at Volkswagen are living in extremely exciting times. Our industry is facing radical changes that could be called historic in nature. We are quite aware of this, and this is why, with Future Tracks, we'll not just have our sights on the second half of the game, we are looking far ahead to the next season. It's certainly not just a case of old world versus new world or Silicon Valley playing Stuttgart, Munich or Wolfsburg. It's about engineers and IT professionals collaborating to make automobiles even more intelligent, safer and more efficient, including and in particular for the iPhone generation. We can and must learn from each other. And another thing is clear. We are doing everything that we can, even today, to make the car of the year 2025 a Volkswagen Group vehicle. Over the next 5 years, our group will be investing more than 85 billion euros in plants, products and technologies. Add to this the 22 billion euros now joint ventures in China. This 107 billion euro program carries a clear message. The Volkswagen Group offers excellent prospects for our customers, for our shareholders, and for future generations working at Volkswagen. This is our goal. This is our mission. And I'm sure you can sense that my team and I are passionate indeed and are taking on. And I would like to thank you for being here today.